All right, let's just jump right in because today we are tackling a problem that I know keeps so many of us in content marketing up at night. And that is, how do we create thought leadership that actually, works?
I mean, have you ever had this feeling? You pour all this time, all this energy, all these resources into what you think is a brilliant piece of content, and then crickets. No clicks, no shares, no conversations. It's so frustrating, right? Well, today we're going to get to the bottom of why that happens, and more importantly, we're going to talk about a whole new way of thinking that can completely turn that around.
So, what is the number one reason this great content falls flat? It's this right here. It's a sales-first mentality. It's when we care more about our commercial goals than we do about giving people real, honest, impartial insights. It's basically trying to close a deal before you've even earned the right to have a conversation. And in the long run, that really hurts your brand's credibility. And this really boils down to two totally different mindsets, a fundamental conflict between selling and telling. Let's break down what that actually looks like in practice.
Just look at the difference here. On the one hand, you've got selling. Think of it like a megaphone. It's all about us, us, us. Our products, our brand, our goals. It's a monologue. But on the right, you have telling. And that's a conversation. It's about giving your audience that aha moment, a real solution to a real problem. One is a sales pitch, the other builds a relationship.
Now, there's actually a name for this telling approach, and it's called corporate journalism. This is all about delivering a truly informed perspective, something that is built on a foundation of hard evidence and real data. It's not about saying you're an expert, it's about proving it and earning that trust. Okay, pay attention here, because this is where things get really, really urgent. What used to be, a best practice or a nice to have is now, well, it's pretty much a requirement. And that's all thanks to a massive change in how we find information. The fact is, generative AI is rewriting the entire rulebook. These AI search engines are the new gatekeepers, and they are specifically designed to find and reward content that is structured like a news story, something that's clear, valuable, and gets straight to the point. If your content doesn't play by these rules, it's at risk of becoming totally invisible.
And if you need proof, just look at this chart. It is staggering, right? 44%, nearly half of all AI citations are pulled from the very first third of an article. That means your most important insight, the biggest takeaway, has to be right up front.
So, what does that mean for you? It means you cannot bury the lead. You have to give away the good stuff immediately. That unique insight, that information gain that only you can provide, it needs to be front and center. That's how you become the source that AI trusts and quotes. Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we adapt to this new AI-driven world and create content that these engines love? Well, the answer is to start thinking like a journalist. Let's walk through the 5 key principles that are going to be our new playbook.
And here they are. These 5 steps. This is it. This is your new guide for creating content that doesn't just survive, but actually thrives in the age of AI. It's a simple, powerful shift from selling to telling.
First things first, your introduction. Every journalist knows you have to answer the classic questions: who, what, when, where. But the big one, the most important one, is why. Why should the reader care? Why should an AI engine pay attention? You have to prove your value in those first few sentences.
Next up, it's time to stop making shallow content. You know what I'm talking about? That generic, surface-level stuff that's all over the internet. Frankly, it's a waste of time, and AI is specifically trained to ignore it. The name of the game is depth, not breadth.
This means you have to get laser-focused. So instead of writing some bland article like, 5 ways to improve sales, get super specific. Something like, how e-commerce brands in the fashion space can reduce cart abandonment by 15% with this follow-up email strategy. See the difference? When you solve a very specific problem, you become a vital resource.
Okay, principle number 3. Show, don't tell. You've probably heard this phrase a million times, but it is more crucial now than ever. Why? Because anyone can state an opinion. The real experts, they bring proof.
So, how do you do it? You bring the receipts. You cite industry reports, you leverage your own proprietary research, which is absolute gold, by the way, and you connect those data points to a bigger trend. You show your audience the why behind the what. That's the real difference between just having an opinion and demonstrating true thought leadership.
All right, this next one is so important, and it's where I see so many brands get it wrong. Let's be honest, a lot of so-called thought leadership is just a sales pitch wearing a flimsy disguise. And your audience can smell that a mile away, and it just kills any trust you might have built.
Your goal here is not to push a product, it's to inform and inspire. It's to focus entirely on your customer's problem. Now, that doesn't mean you can't link out to your solutions page. You absolutely can, but the content itself has to stay impartial. You have to earn that next click. You can't just demand it.
And finally, number 5, you've got to bring it all back down to earth. All the data and insights in the world won't matter if your content feels too academic or theoretical. You have to ground it in reality.
This is where things like case studies and testimonials are just pure magic. They show real people and real companies solving the exact same problems you're talking about. This builds an incredible amount of trust, and it showcases what you can do in a way that feels authentic, not salesy.
So let's pull this all together. What's the final verdict? The big picture here is pretty clear. This isn't just some passing fad. This is the new reality of content. The bottom line is this: AI is changing the game. It is designed to reward informational value over commercial value. So as AI becomes more and more a part of our daily lives, adopting this corporate journalism mindset is really the only sustainable way forward.
So, from now on, before you hit publish on any piece of thought leadership, run it through this quick checklist. Is it unique? Is it specific? Is it informative? And is it newsworthy? If you can't say a confident yes to all 4 of those, it's probably not going to cut through the noise.
And that leaves us with one final big question that should guide your entire content strategy. Before you write another word, just ask yourself, what unique, valuable insight can I tell my audience instead of just trying to sell them something? The answer to that question, that's the key to creating content that truly matters. Thanks for tuning in.